So let me get this straight. Your ex left and they took your credit score with them? Let's fix that. Listen, if that sounds like you're not alone. Divorce, breakup, separations wreck credit, but today I'm going to give you the fix. This is one of the most important videos I've ever made because millions of Americans are silently suffering from divorce or breakup damaged credit, and I don't think anybody ever talks about it, and most don't even know where to start fixing it, but you're about to. Listen, divorce or a separation is hard, but you know what can feel even worse? Watching your credit score crash and burn right after. You thought the worst part was over, but now you're getting denied for apartments, credit cards, and even car loans and utilities in your name. So if that sounds like you're not alone. Divorce, separations, or breakups wreck credit. But today, I'm giving you the fix. This is one of the most important videos I've ever made because millions of Americans are silently suffering from divorce, separation, or breakup damaged credit, and most don't even know where to start fixing it, but you're about to. Now, what I have historically seen is there are 4 hidden ways divorce or separations or breakups destroy your credit. Let's keep it real. Divorce or separation or breakup doesn't directly affect your credit score, but the aftermath, it's like a financial wrecking ball. I've seen it I don't know how many times. Number 1, missed payments because your ex forgot to pay the bills. Number 2, joint accounts that spiral into debt. Number 3, legal fees draining your savings, forcing you to max out credit cards. That's the biggest one I've seen, to be honest with you. And number 4, the craziest one of all, identity theft. Yes, it happens more than you can ever imagine in marriages, engagements, in boyfriend-girlfriend situations. The other person has no idea until after they break up that their spouse or significant other has taken out all types of credit cards and loans in their name and destroy their credit. And listen, the credit bureaus don't care who was supposed to pay it. They only care if it was late, and that's what tanks your credit score. Here's what most people don't realize. Lenders don't know your life story. They just see late payments, high balances, closed accounts, and new addresses. Because divorce screams instability on a credit report unless you take action fast, and that's where we start flipping the script. Now, I'm gonna break this down into 4 very important steps that you do not want to miss, and I'm also going to give you a bonus on how to deal with a situation if your identity was stolen by your ex or a spouse, and so on, so on. Now, jumping into step number 1, we want to pull our credit report, the right credit report. I'm not talking about Credit Karma. I'm talking about annualcreditreport.com to get all your free credit reports from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. But you also want to pull your Innovis credit report and the secondary credit reporting agencies also. Now, you want to pull your LexisNexis, your LCI, Innovis, ARS, Credco, Clarity, DataX, Microbilt, and Factor Trust. All of those for 100% free. Now, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, you can get those reports once a week for free. We need to see all of our credit reports from the main 3 credit bureaus and all of the secondary credit reporting agencies also, because divorce messes with all of them differently. Without this, you're honestly driving blind. Now, once you have your credit reports from all of the credit reporting agencies and the secondary bureaus, you want to look for inconsistencies, any errors. Remember, errors can be disputed. You're not going to find negative accounts that have 100% accuracy. So don't think it's game over, because a lot of people always ask me the question, well, is it accurate, Mike? What happens if it is accurate? It's not going to be 100% accurate. It's impossible. Now, once you pull your credit reports, you want to look for any errors. The first date of delinquency, the date open, the date closed, the balance, the account name, the account number. List all of these items as being inaccurate and not complete, and it must be deleted. Because per the FCRA, everything on your credit report must be accurate, complete, and fair. Never tell them that there's only one thing that's wrong on the account. List a plethora of errors that you found on the item on your credit report from different credit bureaus. And then you actually give them evidence showing the items highlighted. Because if you just give them one thing that's wrong, they're just gonna fix it. And then you're gonna keep going back and forth and back and forth. That's why you list a plethora of things versus giving them one thing and then they'll fix it and then you have to dispute over again. Now, step number 2, we we want to pinpoint the divorce damage or separation or breakup damage, whatever it may be. Now that you've got your credit reports, here's what you need to look for. Accounts that you thought were closed but are still open, late payments after the divorce filing, and debt that wasn't supposed to be yours. We want to take some type of highlighter, highlight them, circle them, screenshot them. This is your credit damage map. These aren't just numbers. These are financial wounds from your marriage, and we're about to treat them. Now, moving on to step number 3, we need to start rebuilding now. Listen, you don't have to wait years to bounce back. Here's how to start rebuilding today. First off, do not get a secured card. It's the #1 big mistake that people will tell you. Just get a secured card, man. No, don't do that. It's not necessary. You can get something like the Cred AI credit card. I don't get paid for any of this of talking about this card, but I love it because it is one of the best credit rebuilding credit cards. Now, it does not report as a secured credit card, but it is a secured credit card. I know that sounds crazy, but just listen up, okay? You could literally put $10 or $10,000 on the card. It doesn't matter. You can literally put $10 and you can only spend the $10, but it's always going to report a $1,500 line of credit. So now listen up. Let's run it back real quick. If you put $5, $10, or $100, you can only spend whatever you put on it, and it will always report a $1,500 line of credit. That's the best part about it. There's no fees and you can never get in debt. Always pay off your balances in full every single month when you're rebuilding. Now, that doesn't mean later on carry a balance. No, that should be the consistent recipe moving forward with your life. Make sure to set up auto payment for all of your active accounts and make sure that it's attached to a bank account and not a debit card, because if the debit card is compromised, they'll shut that down and then you might possibly forget to actually reinstate the payment and then you get a late payment. I want to give a special shout out to all my beasters out there that are working hard to fix their credit using DisputeBeast, the most advanced AI credit repair software ever created that comes with a 110% money back guarantee. But specifically to Luis. Luis's credit score went up 261 points after just one round with DisputeBeast. And Jency's credit score went up 225 points after just one round with DisputeBeast. But let's not forget James. James's credit score went up 207 points after just one round with DisputeBeast. DisputeBeast's link is going to be in the video description and pinned at the top of the comments for anyone that needs to fix their credit. Now, if you have any collections, charge-offs, or any late payments, unfortunately, a court order is not going to change the mind of the credit bureaus or the lenders because you are 100% liable. It's a really tough, hard pill to swallow when you're going through a nasty divorce or a nasty separation, but that's just the facts, unfortunately. Unless you were a victim of identity theft, meaning they opened these accounts without any of your knowledge. Now, before we jump into step number 4, I want to talk about the bonus right here. Now, the bonus is going to be if you're a victim of identity theft. Now, the first step, if you're a victim of identity theft, is to file a police report at your local police station. Include all of the account names, the account numbers, and the balances that are showing on your credit reports. You file that with your local police department. Get a copy of the police report. Now, it's up to you to state who was actually at fault if you believe you have proof, but understand the police department will investigate it, so you gotta be 100% certain that it is the person, because this could get even nastier. But you don't, now let me repeat that, you don't have to disclose if you know who it was or if it wasn't or who it may be. You don't have to say any of that. All that matters is that you are in fact a victim of identity theft. That's all that matters. Once you get your police report from your local police department, then you can go and file what is called an FTC affidavit. There is a website called identitytheft.gov. Now, you're gonna go to that website, you're gonna file your identity theft affidavit using your police report. You're gonna give it all the information. Once you get everything submitted, you're gonna make copies. Keep copies of all of these reports. They're very, very important and very valuable to you. And then you're going to write a very simple letter to the credit bureaus. Dear Ho-Ass Equifax or Experian, TransUnion, Inovis, LCI, all of these people, write them this letter, and then also to the lenders directly. So there are gonna be 2 different letters that are gonna go out to the credit bureaus and secondary bureaus, and then to the creditors themselves or collection companies. In your letter, you're gonna simply say, Dear Ho-Ass Experian or Equifax, I was a victim of identity theft. Please delete these accounts from my credit report immediately as I was a victim of identity fraud. Send it certified mail with return receipt, so they have to sign it showing that they actually received it. This is very key because you want to keep a paper trail of everything because you don't want to trust the credit bureaus or any creditors, lenders, or debt collectors. Now, the credit bureaus are supposed to delete these within less than 2 weeks. I know that's crazy. Technically, it's supposed to be 72 hours that they're supposed to delete. The way that they move at a snail's pace is pretty crazy. But literally, it's supposed to be deleted from your credit report in record time, which is usually 72 hours. Now, moving on to step number 4, handle joint accounts strategically. Here's where most people mess up. They assume joint means shared responsibility. Wrong. Now listen, you have to remember, the banks don't care if your divorce decree says he's supposed to pay the card. If your name's still on it, you're still liable. So at minimum, these next steps you have to do: call the bank and let them know, remove yourself from the card or account if possible, and freeze your account if needed, and at minimum, monitor it like a hawk. Don't let your ex drag your score down any farther. Freeze everything, stop everything in its tracks to make sure that you are safe and secure. Now, if you do have any collections, charge-offs, or late payments that you need to attack because you're still liable to them and they're hurting your score, you can use Dispute Beast. Link is going to be in the video description for anyone that needs it to help them fix their credit. And remember, it does all the work for you. It can send the letters, and it comes with a 110% money back guarantee. Last part's the most important. Now, this is your final fix. This is the fastest path to recovery. If you want to bounce back the fastest, this is what you need to do right here, okay? You want to combine smart rebuilding habits with targeted disputes. If you're disputing or whatever you're doing, that means disputing outdated addresses tied to your ex. This is the biggest thing that nobody ever does. They still leave those addresses on there, and then they wonder how they were able to open an account in their name. It happens so much you have no idea. You also want to remove unauthorized inquiries and let the credit bureaus know. But when you do that, make sure that they do not put any type of fraud alert on your credit report because that can hurt your lending. Make sure to challenge any inaccurate balances. You have the right as a consumer because of the Fair Credit Billing Act to protect your accounts. If you see an inaccurate balance, dispute it in writing. Don't call them on the phone because that does not trigger the Fair Credit Billing Act. Send them a written dispute letter directly to the creditor. And make sure to delete any collections that weren't your fault. We went over that earlier, but just a little reminder. I just want you to know that every negative you clean up adds positive momentum, and you'd be amazed how fast your credit can rebound when you get aggressive and you don't back off. This is my final message to anybody that's been through this craziness of a divorce or a breakup or separation. You're not broken. Your credit isn't either. Look, divorce is messy, painful, emotional, but your credit doesn't have to stay broken. You've got tools, you've got options, and you've got me walking you through every step of rebuilding because you deserve peace, you deserve a fresh start, and you absolutely deserve a FICO score that reflects the powerful comeback you've been making. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any collections or charge-offs or late payments that you need to delete from your credit report, make sure to watch this video right here because it's going to show you how AI can do all the work for you and mail the letters, and it comes with a 110% money back guarantee. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.